Welcome back. So, we're beginning to understand the difference between a problem structure and a creative structure. The problem structure attempts to fix our current reality or fix our current identity. And the creative structure simply knows that we created all of it anyway, and therefore we can create something different. The key here is understanding that there is nothing to fix. There's nothing to fix about yourself. There's nothing to fix about your life. It's simply what you have created. Really key concept to understand and to accept. You are the creative power that's created all of it. There's nothing to fix. We just have to create something different. When we're in the creative structure, we're not triggered by our life situation. Although it may be challenging, we simply rise above it and create what we do want to experience. The difference between living in a problem structure compared to living in a creative structure is huge. It is literally the difference between living in a lifetime of struggle and self-sabotage or a lifetime of creating experiences that we actually love. The difference between these two structures all comes down to where you're placing your intention. If a problem arises in your life and the first thing that you do is focus on the outcome that you would rather experience, focus on what you want to create, and start taking steps towards that, that means that you're in a creative structure. On the other hand, if you are sitting around thinking about all the things that are wrong with you and all the things that are wrong with your reality, and deciding that you have to go and solve those things before you can have what you want, then your intention actually lies in solving a problem, not actually creating the outcome that you want. This is the problem structure. And the difference between the two, the difference in the results that they create, are worlds apart. By focusing on creating, you enter a flow state and you allow yourself to be pulled towards what you're creating and what wants to be created through you. In contrast to focusing on solving a problem, you become stuck and you don't get anywhere. You can see this problem orientation everywhere in the modern world, in our society today. It's everywhere. From the war on drugs to fighting cancer, everything is focused on the problem. The issue with focusing on the problem is that you are the creator of your own reality. And by focusing your awareness on what you don't want, you are literally observing the problem into physical reality, into existence. When you are solving a problem, you are taking action with the goal for something to go away. When you are creating, it's completely different. When you are creating, you are taking action with the goal of something to come into creation. These are two very different things. You're either investing your energy in creating the problem reality, or you're investing your energy in creating the reality that you want to experience. And the energy that you feel when you're operating in these two spaces is very different. You will feel different in your body. One is fueled by the energy and emotion of fear, and one is fueled with the energy and emotion of love. By focusing on the problem, even if you're trying to fix it, you're still bringing it into creation. Because by focusing on it, you're actually creating a point of reference in your field of awareness for you to then go and solve. The reality is that you will never solve the problem, because the solution can only exist in polarity to the problem. You won't know when the problem is solved unless you keep the problem in your field of awareness as a reference point to compare it to. Does that make sense? For a long time, I was caught in this problem structure to try to fix this feeling of being stuck in my life and this feeling of being out of alignment with the person that I was and my values. I felt that I just had to keep working harder to try to get ahead to keep grinding so that eventually I would be in a different place. And I didn't have any idea of what I was working towards. I didn't have a vision in mind. Instead of following my intuition and going after what I really wanted in life, what I would love, I used my logical mind and tried to make decisions based on what made logical sense, based on my past experience and based on the advice that I got from other people, even when I didn't ask for it. I continued to invest my energy into my current reality, trying to fix it, trying to solve it, hoping that eventually things would get better, not realizing that I was creating exactly what I didn't want. When I learned and started to operate from this creative structure, I started to get clear on what really mattered to me and how I wanted to feel in my life. Passion, freedom, adventure, connection, love, and joy. That's what I want to feel in my life. That's what I want to create. I started to write down all the things that gave me these feelings, all the things that created these emotions, and it started to develop a very clear picture of the kind of life that I wanted to live. This helped me develop a very clear vision of what I wanted in my life, and by connecting to that vision regularly, I started to get clarity on the person that I would need to become in order to create that for myself. Most importantly, I became aware of the things that I was already creating in my life, which helped me develop awareness of the reasons why that was the case. It helped me to clear a lot of unconscious blockages and emotions that I was holding on to. It helped me to release so much. It took me some time to really understand this knowledge, but once it started to sink in, things changed in my life very quickly, because I started to become aware, I started to become conscious of the program that was, like the belief that was allowing the situation in my life to be maintained. And once I cleared that energetically, once I cleared that out of my field, once I removed that belief and replaced it with a more positive one, the situation dissolved. Everything shifts. The biggest example that I can give you of this is the belief that I wasn't good enough. That was my core wound, and there was so much in my reality, there was so much that I had placed in my experience to create evidence for that belief to be true. And once I realized this knowledge, once I was grounded in this truth, and I was able to clear that, I was able to realize that I had put it there. Once I cleared that, everything just dissolved. All of the challenges that were upheld from this belief vanished. It's hard for this knowledge and understanding to really sink in, but once you see the evidence in your life, once you clear something internally and you just see things vanish, dissolve, disappear, that had once given you so much grief and suffering, when you see the evidence, then the belief strengthens, and the more the belief strengthens, the stronger your ability to create different outcomes in your life becomes, and you start to create really powerful momentum. The hardest part for me was learning to trust myself and learning to trust the intuitive guidance that I was being given. The guidance that I was being given my entire life since the day I was born, but for whatever reason I stopped listening to. That voice, that gut feeling, that sudden knowing about someone or something, that moment of clarity, that inspiration, that idea that you receive. Guidance, inner guidance. You feel me? To summarize, the problem structure operates from the logical mind and tries to fix. The creative structure operates from the heart and intuition and works with energy and frequency to very quickly shift reality. When we're in the creative structure, we don't use our mind to make decisions. We tune into a higher state of consciousness and allow that to guide us. And everybody has their different language for this guidance, this higher intelligence, this higher consciousness. It's often referred to as your intuition, your higher self, super conscious, your spirit guides, or God. Whatever language resonates for you is perfect. The important thing is to begin to develop a relationship with this higher aspect of yourself and begin to understand and put into practice this process of how things actually come into creation. And this is a process that's taken me years and years of trial and error, research, and a lot of self-awareness to begin to understand. I've used my own life, my own human existence as an experiment. If you understand the process of how thoughts become things, of how energy becomes matter, then you can start to use this process to create more positive outcomes in your life consciously. Today and into the future, I'm going to be sharing this process with you so that you can start to use it to change your life. I'm going to teach you how to get in this creative structure, how to step into your creative power so that you can go out and create a life you would actually like to live. This is really exciting. I'm really excited to be in this space with you, to be receiving this knowledge and to be able to share it with other people. I'm excited. I hope you are too. The first step in this creative process is deciding what it is you would like to experience in your life. What would you love to create? Regardless of your current situation, regardless of your past experiences, what would you love to experience in your life? You get to decide. I'll see you in the next lesson. Peace.